Intertextuality is a literary term. It is coined by Kristeva. It denotes the dependency of one text into another. Intertextuality means interconnection of the texts like a mosaic pattern. So they are interlinked, they are interconnected. That means giving a reference, that means giving the reference of one text into another. Now, one question arises that what is the meaning of the text or what is the area of the text? Now, we should know the broad definition of the text. Frankly speaking, this intertextuality, this particular word that is text, has a broad meaning because it encompasses the works of the philosophy, novels, paintings, any work of art, so poems, dramas, everything. So what has been taken? That means the broader sense has been taken. So text means the broader sense of the text. By this word intertextuality, Kristeva is trying to convey the message that each and every author is connected, because before writing anything, the author was a reader also. So it is quite common that the author has already read something. The author has already read something, and in his or her writings, he or she will reflect the imprint of the other texts that he or she has or had already read. And this reflection is actually called intertextuality. And as a result of it, Kristeva challenges that in each and every writing there will be the imprint of intertextuality. From that perspective or from that angle, it can be said that intertextuality is actually interdependence among the texts. Understood? As I have already mentioned the word mosaic, that means mosaic of quotations or mosaic of interpretations. That means different texts will be given as a reference, or different extracts from the different texts will be mentioned. So this is called mosaic of quotations or mosaic of interpretations. And Kristeva, she has argued, she has given this logic that intertextuality is actually mosaic of interpretations or mosaic of quotations. Kristeva conveys the message that, and she conveys it very firmly, that intertextuality is actually transposition of many sign systems into another. Now this word transposition, it is connected to Sigmund Freud, and Sigmund Freud is none but one of the pioneers of psychoanalytic criticism. Sigmund Freud, Carl Gustav Jung, and Jacques Lacan. Now, what is discourse? Discourse is a specific form of language which is determined by specific situational rules and context. It is very interesting that in intertextuality, texts or quotation or references are transferred, and each text has its own discourse. As a result of it, In the time of transferring the text, the discourses are also transferred. And Julia Kristeva named it as new articulation. Julia Kristeva is credited as the inventor of the term intertextuality. But at the same time, we have to remember that Roland Barthes and Roland Jakobson, these are also the two pioneers who used this intertextuality in different formats, in different conditions. It can be said that the essence of intertextuality that has been derived from Mikhail Bakhtin and Sigmund Freud's the notion of dream work, and then it becomes a type of theory, that means intertextuality, that becomes a type of theory of meaning and meaning production. Now, intertextuality and postmodernism. Postmodernism does not believe in any absolute meaning. Rather, postmodernism focuses on fragmentation, thereafter metafiction and intertextuality. So, from that perspective, this intertextuality that can be said as textological theory. And in intertextuality, the text itself and the sign context, these two things serve the main purpose of sense creation. I would like to mention one very lucid example of intertextuality. We have read Homer's Odyssey, as well as we have read James Joyce's Ulysses. In James Joyce's Ulysses, ancient Greece that has become modern-day Dublin. The adventures of Odysseus, which are also expressed in different molds. So, this is the imprint, that means James Joyce's imprint of reading Homer's Odyssey is quite clear. So, from that perspective, it can be said that Homer's Odyssey that has been quoted, or different type of references have been taken by James Joyce, and these quotations or references or imprints which are actually inserted or used in his, that means Joyce's, Ulysses. So this is a superb example of intertextuality.